Imagine a future, right? Humanity, finally united, actually soaring, standing right there at the very edge of the cosmic unknown.
Hmm.
What happens when we finally, step across that line? When we confront alien life not as some abstract idea, but, well, as a real tangible thing?
Yeah, what kind of person leads that first step?
Exactly. And what kind of universe-altering truths are waiting out there? Truths that might completely change how we see ourselves, maybe not as conquerors, but as, I don't know, inheritors of something ancient, maybe even terrifying.
It's a huge question.
It really is. So today we're starting this really extraordinary journey, a deep dive into what we're calling the Trappist-1 Chronicle, humanity's first contact.
And this isn't just like a dry report.
No, not at all. It's this incredibly detailed account, almost reads like history beamed back from the future,
Yeah.
where first contact is just fact. It's a chronicle packed with these really personal choices characters make, dramatic twists that just flip our understanding of the universe, and revelations so big they challenge everything we thought we knew about life, death, maybe even war out there among the stars.
Right.
Our mission today is really to tell the story of Adam Ward. He starts as this pretty ordinary cadet, finds himself right smack in the middle of humanity's very first encounter with alien intelligence. We'll trace how he grows, the huge challenges he faces, and see how his decisions, often kind of quiet, unassuming even, end up shaping that whole first chapter of interstellar diplomacy,
It's a narrative that really unfolds, yeah.
decision by decision.
Absolutely. And it reveals this universe that's just so much more complex and frankly more dangerous than we could possibly have imagined. And what this chronicle really drives home, I think, is that cosmic history isn't just these big, sweeping events. It's more like a tapestry, right? Woven from individual actions, specific choices made under unbelievable pressure.
Good way to put it.
It really puts the journey of this one guy, Adam Ward, on this almost universal level. It shows that even in the biggest stories of exploration, it's the human element, maybe the humanity of the individual, that really counts in the end. That dictates how things go.
Totally agree. So let's start. The year is 2199. Humanity, for the first time ever, really, it's completely unified under the UNSA, the United Nations Space Administration.
A huge achievement in itself.
Oh, massive. This isn't just background noise. It's proof of centuries of hard work overcoming all those divisions, ancient fights, to finally reach this one huge goal. Interstellar travel. Generations dreamed of it, and now, finally, the tech is there, the political will is there.
The stars are finally within reach.
Exactly, and it's into this high-stakes, super ambitious environment that we first meet young Adam Ward. Now, Adam isn't just some random guy wanting to go to space. He's a top cadet, specifically in the command track, which is fiercely competitive at the Armstrong Academy.
Right.
Super prestigious.
But the best of the best.
Pretty much. For him, this isn't just a job path, it's everything he's ever dreamed of. Looking up at the stars, picturing a future beyond Earth. His own goals perfectly match humanity's biggest ambition. Explore, discover, finally touch the cosmos. He kind of embodies that unified vision.
Yeah, it sets the scene perfectly. You've got humanity at this peak moment, unified, ready to jump into the unknown. And then there's this young man who just is that aspiration. His drive isn't just for himself. It feels like it's for something way bigger, a sense of duty, of purpose that really defines him as we go on.
And his real test, his leadership potential, it doesn't happen out in space first. It happens in the simulation called the Prometheus scenario.
Yes, the Prometheus, notorious.
Right. This wasn't your average test. It was designed specifically to break captains, or would-be captains anyway.
Yeah, I've read about it. Adaptive AI, just throwing impossible situations at you.
Exactly. No-win scenario, systems failing catastrophically, sudden enemy contacts, crazy ethical choices, all meant to push cadets right to their edge, expose any weakness under pressure.
Brutal.
Totally. So Ward finds himself strapped into the command chair, simulated ship, Sol system patrol. Suddenly, alarms just scream. A massive unidentified energy phenomenon just appears out of nowhere. This anomaly, just chaotic energy tearing up simulated space.
Okay, intense.
And the other cadets in the sim, they're visibly shaken, pale faces in the flashing red lights, all looking at him, waiting for the command.
Wow. Talk about pressure.
Right. It's a crucible moment, alarms blasting, ship shaking, crew staring at him, fear in their eyes. This isn't in the textbooks. It's pure chaos.
So what's the choice?
Stark choice. Does he make a bold dash, maybe heroic? Go for close-range data, risking everyone and the ship on this completely unknown, possibly hostile thing? Or does he take the methodical route? Cautious retreat, prioritize safety, might look less heroic, maybe, but strategically sound. What kind of leader is he going to be right then?
And this is where we really see Ward's core character come out. True to form, pragmatic, methodical.
Hmm.
He chose the second option.
The safer route.
He didn't rush in. No ego, no impulse driving him. Instead, he was apparently incredibly calm, considering the chaos. Ordered his ship to a safe distance. Crew and vessel first.
Okay.
Only then did he deploy a long-range probe. It seems procedural, maybe a bit conservative, but executed perfectly. And here's where that choice really shines.
What did the probe find?
Operating safely from a distance, it didn't just gather tons of valuable data on the anomaly, but deep inside all that chaotic energy, it isolated this structured melodic signal.
Wow, melodic.
Yeah, the source Chronicle calls it beautiful, unnatural, and undeniably intelligent, like a symphony hidden in cosmic noise. And what's fascinating is how that initial decision, the one that seemed kind of cautious, turned out to be strategically brilliant. It really speaks to a leader who values getting the full picture, methodical safety over just, impulsive heroics. It makes you think, right, does real leadership always mean taking the biggest, flashiest risk? Or is it sometimes about restraint, about precision, trusting the process, even if it doesn't look as dramatic?
Undeniably intelligent. That's
Yeah.
huge. Humanity's first potential hint of alien contact found not by chasing it down, but by careful observation.
Exactly. And this discovery was so big, so paradigm-shifting, that they just terminated the simulation right then and there.
To cut it off.
Yep. No standard debrief, no, how did you feel about that?
Yeah.
Ward was summoned straight to this high-stakes meeting. Armstrong Academy Director, UNSA High Command reps. The whole intimidating setup in some stark conference room.
Wow, straight to the top.
And again, another choice point. Does he speculate? Offer wild theories about the signal? Maybe sound reckless? Or does he just present the facts? Humble, unvarnished, let the data speak.
Knowing Ward so far, I have a guess.
You guessed it. Clarity over conjecture. With this amazing calm, he just meticulously detailed what his simulated crew did, how they worked together, and presented the raw data, the energy signatures, the melodic signal analysis. Let that do the talking.
No grandstanding.
None. And that display of calm, evidence-based leadership. It impressed the director, high command, way more than any flashy theories could have. He didn't just pass the test. He basically defined himself as this new kind of leader, valuing truth, process over showmanship.
And that changed everything for him, didn't it?
Instantly. Promoted immediately. Cadet to lieutenant, junior grade. That kind of rapid jump tells you how rare he thought his skills were.
Wow.
And he got this brand new role, created just for him, basically. Aboard the UNS Odyssey, Xenocommunications Specialist, a title carrying all of humanity's hopes, pretty much.
Xenocommunications Specialist. That's quite a title. It shows how much that measured approach really struck a chord upstairs.
Absolutely. And he didn't have to wait long for his real-world proving ground.
The Odyssey's shakedown cruise?
Exactly. Aboard the real ship, state-of-the-art exploration vessel, final checks in Earth orbit. His first real decision as an officer. His comms station in the ship's nerve center for talking to the unknown could use the standard, super reliable Helios array. Proven tech, never failed.
Okay, the safe.
Or it could use this brand new, experimental, and apparently notoriously unstable Janus receiver. Cutting edge, but glitchy.
Ah, the classic dilemma. Reliable workhorse or bleeding edge risk?
And again, Ward, ever the pragmatist, he went with the standard gear, the Helios.
Well, makes sense.
But here's the thing. He didn't just pick it and move on. He absolutely dedicated himself to it. Spent the next 36 hours, basically no sleep, not just calibrating it, but mastering it.
36 hours on standard gear.
Yep. Poring over schematics, running diagnostics like crazy, tuning every little component. It was painstaking work. Not just following the manual, but understanding every single nuance, pushing its known limits, trying to find hidden potential.
It's those quiet moments, isn't it, where his real genius seems to come out.
Totally. And the Chronicle says his meticulous work actually uncovered this tiny, almost invisible power inefficiency in the ship's main grid, something dozens of engineers had missed.
No way.
Yeah. And he didn't just find it. He wrote this elegant software patch right there, on the fly. Complex code that optimized the system, smoothed things out.
Wow.
And that kind of quiet dedication, diving deep into the ship's guts like that, it earned him instant deep respect from the ship's chief engineer, Miles, a real grizzled veteran type who valued competence above everything.
So it wasn't about big flashy moments. It was about actually knowing his stuff, inside and out, building that solid foundation.
Precisely. It shows Ward's character isn't just about the big strategic calls. It's about meticulous detail, respecting the tools you have. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it suggests that kind of foundational competence, that earned respect from doing the hard, often unseen work that's crucial for the huge challenges coming.
Yeah.
Way more vital than just being lucky or bold. That quiet diligence builds something solid, something you can rely on.
And he was going to need that solid foundation, wasn't he? Desperately.
Oh, absolutely. Because that foundation was about to get tested like nothing before.
Right. After all the training, the simulations, the prep, the UNS Odyssey finally made its historic first jump, slid into that weird non-space of the hyperlane.
Where physics gets bendy.
Totally. Distances fold, time stretches, and 8 days later they emerge into the dim red light of the Trappist system.
Humanity's first step outside Sol. Incredible moment.
It really was a testament to everything humanity had worked for. This was it, the vast, silent unknown.
So what did they find first?
Well, initial scans were exciting, but also confusing. They found 3 planets in the habitable zone. That's promising for life, right?
Lovely Goldilocks zone.
But no sign of that massive energy anomaly Ward found in the simulation. The thing that brought them there in the first place, gone, vanished.
Strange. So the reason they came wasn't even there anymore.
Exactly. Captain Eva Rostova, seasoned captain, faced with this silence, this huge alien system, she turns to Ward, asks for his recommendation.
And Ward, what's his move? Pick a planet.
Nope. Instead of just picking one randomly or going with limited data, Ward advises this really painstaking, deep listening scan of the entire system, trusting his perfectly tuned Helios array, the one he spent 36 hours mastering, to cut through the noise.
Leveraging that meticulous work. Patience again.
Patience and trust in his tech. And his hunch paid off. Big time.
How long did it take?
Almost a full day. Tense silence on the bridge, everyone on edge. Then breakthrough. Ward detects this faint, repeating ping. Simple, weak, but absolutely undeniably artificial, coming from the surface of the middle planet Trappist-1, right in the habitable zone.
Wow. So they had it. Their first extraterrestrial destination.
They had it. That quiet, methodical approach, built on patience and technical skill, delivered again. A whisper from another civilization.
Incredible. The tension must have been off the charts.
Electrifying, just brimming with excitement, tension. They have a target, a possible first contact. And Ward, now maybe feeling a bit bolder after this success, confident in his array, he advocates for aggressive aerial recon.
Aggressive. That sounds unlike him so far.
Right. He suggests deploying a stealth drone. Top of the line, virtually undetectable, get quick visuals, keep the element of surprise. Critical, he argued.
Okay. But you said it was an error.
A critical, almost catastrophic error. This choice, unlike his cautious ones before, it went wrong. Badly.
What happened?
The drone, this silent piece of human ambition, gets close to the beacon's coordinates, and suddenly, this hidden automated weapon system just flares to life. Fires a beam of pure energy. Not just a warning shot, like a precise surgical strike. Cripples the drone instantly, it just crumples. Systems dying with this final electronic whine.
So much for surprise.
Totally gone. Replaced by an immediate, clear alert that they're there. And they've been shot at. The mission just turned hostile. They were seen as a threat.
Wow. Okay, so the mission flips on a dime. From cautious exploration to hostile standoff. How did Ward handle that? Especially since it was his idea that triggered it.
Yeah, what does he do when his own strategy backfires so badly?
Well, the Chronicle says he was shaken, obviously. But his thinking was remarkably clear. He immediately, vehemently argued against retaliating.
Against, even after being fired upon.
Yeah, no matter how tempting, how instinctive it would be. He argued, really powerfully apparently, that the drone was an intrusion. They were the outsiders here. And they should respond to defensive hostility with an open hand, not a clenched fist.
Offer peace after being attacked. That's gutsy.
Extremely. He managed to persuade Captain Rostova against all standard military thinking to broadcast the standard UNSA First Contact package.
The math, science, peace symbols message.
That's the one. Universal language stuff. The tension on the bridge waiting for a response must have been unbearable.
I can only imagine.
But the wait paid off. The weapon on the surface powered down. Its threatening glow just faded. The beacon responded. Clear, intelligent sequence of prime numbers, cycling through perfectly.
Prime numbers?
Yep. Contact. A dialogue had begun. Pulled back from the brink of disaster by choosing peace.
Wow, that is huge.
It's a truly pivotal moment. The Chronicle really flags it as defining the human approach to first contact right from the start. Ward's ability to see past the immediate aggression, to de-escalate, offer peace, even after his own mistake. It wasn't just critical for this mission. It set a precedent.
For everything that came after.
Exactly. It really makes you question how we humans usually react to the unknown, doesn't it? What does it take to choose diplomacy over conflict, especially when you're met with hostility? That choice laid the foundation.
A hard-won success, then? A moment of, maybe, profound relief?
Huge relief, you'd imagine. But surprisingly, that success led straight into this period of intense frustration for Ward.
How so? They made contact.
Right, but Ward, falling back on his cautious, data-first nature, advised that this discovery was just too big, too fragile to act on alone. He convinced Rostova they needed to send a full report back to High Command on Earth, detail everything, and then wait for orders.
Waiting for Earth. That never goes quickly.
Exactly. And the reply, when it finally crawled across light years, wasn't great job. It was basically a bureaucratic slapdown.
Seriously?
Yeah. High Command was irritated. They saw it as indecisiveness, being overly cautious. They ordered them to stick to the original mission, analyzing the beacon, which was now totally obsolete.
But they knew there was something behind the beacon now?
Precisely. But they were explicitly forbidden from investigating the alien installation, the doorway that had now revealed itself. Just maintain distance, observe the beacon, don't interact further.
Unbelievable. So Ward's trapped by his own prudence. His caution becomes a weakness in their eyes.
Pretty much. But this is exactly where we see that quiet rebellion spark up again.
Yeah.
What does he do when the bosses are being short-sighted, when the real mission understanding is being blocked by rules?
Yeah, what's his move?
This is where Ward shows that cautious doesn't mean passive or blindly obedient. Trapped, yes, but not beaten. He pulls off this subtle but really significant act of defiance.
Okay, what did he do?
Officially, he's running scans on the beacon, following orders. But he cleverly repositions the rover, this little wheeled science platform they have, so it just happens to be monitoring the forbidden hallway of the alien installation incidentally.
Incidental monitoring. I love it.
Calculated risk, right? Using a loophole. And boom, it pays off. This silver, multifaceted drone, totally alien, emerges from the doorway, moves with this weird grace, surfaces shifting. It reveals itself right to his hidden sensors. Silent, stunning proof of active, mobile intelligence inside. Life they were forbidden to even acknowledge.
Wow, he got proof.
And this wasn't just about the discovery. It was also about rebuilding trust with his captain. Ward knew Rostova was just as frustrated by High Command's orders.
Right.
So he didn't keep it secret. He reported his findings privately to her. Shared the risk, shared the discovery. And that act of shared frustration and quiet rule bending, it completely rebuilt the trust between them, forged this bond.
And Rostova.
Furious at High Command's ignorance, she gave Ward her secret, totally off the books blessing, to keep doing his unofficial work, pushed him to keep digging.
That's fantastic. Integrity and shared vision winning out.
Exactly. It's a great example of how personal integrity, a shared goal, especially wanting to understand, can get around bureaucratic roadblocks. It's not loud rebellion. It's finding smart, calculated ways to get essential knowledge when the official way fails. That kind of quiet defiance often pushes things forward, even when the rules say no.
It's that human factor again. Knowing when to bend the rules for the right reasons. For discovery itself.
Precisely. And their time on Trappist-1 was running out. The Odyssey had to leave. As Captain Rostova gives the order to withdraw, leave this amazing, mysterious world behind, Ward does one last thing.
What's that?
Before they recall the rover, he has it place a small, standard UNSA insignia patch, the little circle with Earth and the Moon on the snow, a final gift. A silent gesture of goodwill, a human signature left behind.
A little piece of humanity.
Yeah. Then they pull away, and in this moment that just transcends language, transcends tech.
Yeah.
The silver drone comes out one last time.
It saw the patch.
It moved to the patch, accepted it somehow, and then pulsed its beacon, a clear, unmistakable farewell gesture. Its light faded slowly, the doorway sealed, leaving the mysteries behind, for now.
Wow. That small gesture, knowledge, that's incredibly powerful. It goes beyond words, doesn't it? Even across species.
Totally. It shows how even with profound alienness, simple respect, understanding, they can build a connection, pave the way for more. Diplomacy isn't just treaties and talks, it's actions, intentions, even symbolic gestures that speak volumes.
A human touch carrying immense weight.
It really is. It's the kind of subtle but profound detail the Chronicle really emphasizes. Speaks volumes about connecting beyond fear and difference.
And that subtle connection, that farewell pulse, it was about to launch humanity into a totally new role in the cosmos, wasn't it?
Completely unforeseen. The trip home from Trappist-1. Transformative for Ward and Rostova. They worked together intensely, writing this masterful report.
Not just, here's what happened.
No, much more. They carefully reframed the whole thing, not as a threat, not even as a mistake with the drone, but as a groundbreaking, successful diplomatic opening. Their evidence was overwhelming, their story compelling.
And High Command. Did they buy it this time?
They did. Faced with Ward's meticulous data, the drone's responses, the peaceful conclusion, High Command was finally swayed. Humanity's leadership, seeing proof of intelligent life and peaceful interaction, actually rose to the occasion, unified like rarely before.
So the mission was seen as a success.
An unprecedented historic success. It reshaped humanity's whole view of its place in the universe. Rostova got promoted to Commodore recognition for her courage and trusting Ward,
And Ward.
elevated to lieutenant commander, and appointed to this new, incredibly responsible role, ambassador plenipotentiary for all future contact, leading the new Trappist diplomatic initiative.
Ambassador Ward. From cadet to ambassador in, what, months?
An astonishing rise, testament to his unique skills.
So, months later, he's assembling his team for the return trip. Aboard the new flagship, the UNS Emissary, built specifically for this kind of mission.
Right. And who does he pick?
He chose Dr. Eris Thorne, brilliant but famously eccentric xenolinguist. You know, the type whose wild theories sometimes actually work.
Ah, the unconventional genius.
And a cutting-edge AI, the CHU Cognitive Heuristic Unit, capable of processing insane amounts of data. Their partnership, maybe a bit rocky, started getting results fast. They were focused on decoding the drone's kinetic language.
Not sound, not light, but movement and energy pulses.
Exactly, like a complex ballet of light and force, every little shift meaning something. They isolated a key phrase, a basic unit, but got stuck on its deeper meaning.
Okay, a roadblock.
And Ward, being Ward measure twice, cut once he makes this bold move. Puts him at odds with High Command again.
What now?
He decides to delay the emissary's launch for months. Wants to build this new experimental scanner he thinks will crack the code for sure.
Ah, the bureaucracy won't like that.
They didn't. Pushed back hard, denied the delay mission timelines, you know? They did agree to build the scanner and send it later on a faster ship, but it meant Ward had to go back to Trappist without the tool he felt he needed, facing this huge diplomatic challenge, kind of handicapped.
So he's back in the red light of Trappist without his scanner. How does he even proceed? It sounds like a gamble.
It was a gamble, yeah, but a calculated one. Based on all his previous work, back in the system, emissary in position, Ward initiates contact again. Not with the fancy scanner, but with his own detailed theory about what that alien phrase meant.
Putting his own interpretation on the line.
Totally. Trusting his gut and his data, and he nailed it. Succeeded. Established stable, peaceful dialogue again. Reconnected.
Amazing.
Which led to the ultimate breakthrough. He asks the drone to explain its language, and it does, patiently teaches him, showing this incredible visual dictionary concepts linked to kinetic words, a genuine interstellar language lesson.
Wow. Learning directly from the source.
Unbelievable moment. And then came the time for humanity's first complete sentence spoken to an alien species. A moment for the history books.
What did he say? What
Yeah.
profound question did he ask?
Of all the things he could have said about science, history, existence, Ward chose two incredibly simple but incredibly powerful words.
Which were?
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
That was it. And the Chronicle really emphasizes this. It's a radical departure from sci-fi tropes, right? Suggests that real connection isn't about showing off intellect or power. It's about gratitude, vulnerability almost.
Bypassing intellect for an emotional connection first.
Exactly. Like the first handshake isn't proving you're smart. It's just acknowledging you're both there. It really makes you think, how much does that first approach, those first words, define the whole relationship that follows? Between species, even.
That's a really interesting take on first contact diplomacy. But you could argue, couldn't you, that in such a high-stakes situation was thank you really the most strategic first move? Wasn't it maybe a bit naive, given everything they didn't know?
That's a fair point. Maybe a bit naive on the surface, but the Chronicle suggests its strength was exactly that it lacked an agenda. It built this foundation of non-aggression, mutual appreciation, before any complex stuff started.
Setting a positive tone from the outset.
Right, and that simple act of gratitude, it was met with this incredible game-changing gesture from the drone.
The gift.
The gift. The drone presented them with this small, silvery, biological pod, pulsing faintly with light inside. Then its entrance sealed. For good, it seemed. They immediately called it the seed. And what it contained would shake humanity to its core.
Biological. What did the scans show?
Ethical bombshell time. Scans revealed the pod was a chrysalis. a vessel holding a dormant, coiled life form, unlike anything human science had ever encountered.
A life form. An alien life form. Wow.
So Ward contacts Earth again. The news that humanity is now essentially the custodian of a potential alien life may be sentient. It shocks leadership into immediate, unified action. This was way beyond anything planned.
Understandable. What do they do?
They created the Xenogenesis Protocol, top priority directive. Ward was ordered, do not harm the seed under any circumstances, but find out its purpose. Why was it given to them? The ethical weight. Immense. A potential alien child totally dependent on humanity? This isn't just discovery anymore, is it? It's this monumental responsibility. A sacred duty, almost, dropped right in their laps. The whole species is now guardian to this unknown life.
The stakes just kept getting higher. So Ward, understanding the absolute gravity of this, asked the drone for instructions about the seed.
And the drone's reply.
A revelation that just dwarfed everything before it. Changed humanity's whole place in the cosmos. It sent this massive data file, tons of information, and a final terrible message.
Which was?
The seed.
It's a refugee.
A refugee. The Trappist star, its home, is dying faster than anyone knew. Doomed to make the whole system uninhabitable within 5 years.
Whoa.
5 short years.
Oh my God.
The drone itself is an automated ark, a last desperate measure from a dying civilization and humanity. We're meticulously vetted, chosen, as guardians for the last child of a lost civilization.
Chosen, not as explorers, but as saviors. That's staggering, overwhelming.
Ward reports this devastating new reality back to Earth. You can imagine the weight in his voice. This time the UN's response. Clear, noble, unequivocal. Humanity will not stand by and watch extinction.
A unified moral stand.
Absolutely. Commodore Rostova gets command of a new expanded task force. 2 more heavy ships, the UNS Armstrong and Endeavour, are already burning through hyperspace towards Trappist. And Ward, given full authority as ambassador to formally accept this sacred duty and critically investigate the nature of the Trappist doom, what's actually killing the system.
So he accepts guardianship for all of us.
Yeah.
And immediately asks about the doom, right? Clock's ticking.
Right away.
Yeah.
The drone gives a terrifyingly precise timeline. The system will be cut off from hyperlane travel, completely isolated in less than 5 years. No rescue, no escape after that.
We're cut off.
We'll get to that. First, Ward carefully secures the seed aboard the emissary. This fragile new life, now humanity's responsibility. Then, with that deadline looming, he asks the ultimate question. What caused the doom?
And it wasn't natural.
No, it was the catastrophic result of a hyperspatial weapon, detonated in a forgotten war millions of years ago.
A weapon.
Oh,
Millions of years ago, affecting things now.
These weren't bombs in the usual sense. The Chronicle describes them as devices that permanently destabilize space-time in a region, effectively cutting it off from hyperlane travel forever. A kind of insidious cosmic siege weapon, leaving behind this deadly echo.
That's chilling. A forgotten war's ghost killing a star system millions of years later.
The scale is just mind-boggling, isn't it? Cosmic time, forgotten history. It's not a natural disaster. It's the fallout from an ancient, devastating conflict. Its perpetrators, its victims, long gone.
And it raises that unsettling question. What does it mean for us, for humanity, to inherit this? To become custodians of a million-year-old tragedy?
And what terrifying lessons are there? From a civilization that wiped itself out with that kind of power, leaving just ruin and one desperate seed. The idea that destruction can ripple across epochs. It's a heavy thought.
Heavy is an understatement. The weight of that legacy, the implications, it must have been crushing for Ward. Yeah. The Chronicle mentions his final week of solitary contact with the drone, right? Before the fleet arrives, before the connection closes.
Yeah, he asked 2 last huge questions, trying to grab every last piece of the puzzle. First, where are the creators? The ones who built the drone and trusted the seed?
And the answer?
Heartbreaking. The drone shows this hologram, a beautiful, vibrant city of light, elegant, ethereal beings, just slowly turning to dust, dissolving, extinct, wiped out.
Oh, God.
Utterly gone.
Then Ward takes this huge gamble. He shows the drone the image of that warship he found encoded in the seed's DNA, this image of pure destruction. He asks, who were they? What is this ship?
Does the drone answer?
It does. With chilling precision, it gives him a name described as a litany of ancient hate, echoing across millions of years.
What was the name?
The Erasers.
The Erasers. Wow. Okay, so the pieces really fall into place now. A cosmic tragedy, genocide on a stellar scale, and a chilling warning carried across millennia. Humanity holds the last remnant of one wiped-out civilization, and the terrifying name of another. We're not just explorers anymore. were inheritors, maybe even future targets.
Which brings us right to this present moment in the Chronicle. The UNS Armstrong and Endeavour, symbols of humanity's resolve, just rip through space-time, arrive in Trappist in a flash of hyperlane light.
The fleet is assembled.
3 powerful ships poised in that dim red glow, a statement of commitment to this sacred duty. Commodore Rostova takes command of the task force, her expression grim but determined. The ancient silence of this system, witness to so much, it's now broken by humanity's full presence.
And her very first order as commander.
A transmission sent directly to Ambassador Ward. She says, Ambassador Ward, welcome the fleet. Give me a recommendation. What is our first official act as a unified task force?
And that, listeners, is where you stand now. You are Ambassador Ward. You have the whole Chronicle. We've just unpacked the Dying Star, the Precious Seed, the Chilling Dame, the Erasers. The fleet is there waiting for your command, your decision that will shape humanity's future out here.
If we connect this back, this whole Chronicle isn't just a first contact story, is it? It's this deep dive into human character, into responsibility, into these terrifying echoes of ancient wars fought among the stars. It leaves us with this really weighty question about our place, not just as explorers, but as inheritors of this cosmic legacy, this duty stretching back millions of years.
So think about it. With everything you now know, the ticking clock of the dying star, the fragile life inside the seed, and the terrifying shadow of the erasers, what would your first official act be if you were Ward? Do you focus on the immediate, the desperate tactical need to save the seed, figure out the star's collapse, get out before the system is cut off? Or does your focus shift to the longer game, the terrifying implications of the erasers? Do you start preparing humanity for a potential ancient enemy that might still be out there, somewhere in the vastness? What kind of legacy do you choose for humanity right now in this moment of profound cosmic responsibility, tactical urgency versus ancient threat? The decision, well, it's yours, and its ripples could spread across the galaxy.